Welcome, everybody, to Hangin with Santo Mac, where we get to meet Brittany, aka Santo Mac, and learn about her ghosty origin story and other things to do with the pod.
Ghosties on second.
So, welcome. Thanks so much for joining, Brittany.
Thank you. What's up, guys?
Brittany, where are you
What's
from?
up? I'm from Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half from Philly, near Allentown, if anyone knows where that is. So
How far from Lancaster?
It's Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Okay, get it right.
Yeah.
Lancaster.
Yeah.
Probably another hour and a half,
Okay.
and even an hour and a half from all the cool spots.
Have you been to Sight and Sound?
Yes, multiple times.
Oh, nice.
It's really
We
nice.
want to go.
Our old pastor, he reached out to us a couple years ago, and he went to go see this movie. I Heard the Bells. Have you
I
seen
think
this
we
movie?
talked about this on the pod.
I've seen that,
actually.
yeah.
Okay, loved it. Found out that it was from Sight and Sound, and then a friend of ours gave us her login to there's a Sight and Sound app where you can watch all of the theaters, all the theatrical plays or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And so we watched two of them, I think. And then I lost the password to that or something. So
Yeah, I'm sure it's not the same as live, but it was still cool to watch.
phenomenal, yeah. And just to
Amazing.
see the scale of that thing. So whenever they were kind of going off about it on the
Yeah.
pod, I was like, yeah, Did Brad say that it was better than Broadway?
He did. I think he was saying it was better than Broadway.
Would you say that?
I've only been to one Broadway show. I think the quality is up there. It's very, very good. And then the stage at Sight and Sound is kind of a surround stage in a way, or maybe like a half surround stage.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And so if you're sitting on the floor, there's stage to your left and to your right, and they're doing scenes on it throughout the whole production. And there's animals and people coming down the aisles. There's stuff
Yeah.
coming from the ceiling. It's insane.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is the way that it
Immersion.
seems immersive. Yeah,
Yeah,
that it's
perfect.
it
Very.
seems so cool.
It's like IMAX.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah,
way better
Caleb's
than
all
IMAX.
about IMAX.
I love my favorite movie format is IMAX 3D because it's such
Okay.
a grand movie scale,
Yeah.
and then the 3D brings you in. So when you look at the edges of the screen, it's like there's a depth to it. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it so much. Sorry.
Is that comparable to we have? I think they just redid it, but Mosey is Museum of Science and Industry used to have this dome that you would sit in and kind of look up, and it would be all around you, including up at your peripheral, down
Yeah.
It would always be I think they maybe had movies on there sometimes, but
They did
most of the
sometimes.
times it'd be some
a scientific
we're going to
documentary.
the Arctic and you're going to see polar bears or something, and it's you're on a helicopter or something.
I was so terrified of
Yeah.
that when I was
Oh,
a
yeah.
kid.
For
I
real.
went to-
I'm lame.
I went to one of
truly
those,
am.
We
and
got a
I-
nosebleed or something.
it was about the human body, and you go in, and the person opens their mouth, and the camera goes in, and then it goes down their track, almost like a
Osmosis Jones?
Osmosis Jones or Magic School Bus,
Yeah.
or something. But and then they just show you all the stuff about the inside of the human body. And there was a fact on that movie that I have since tried to look up, and I can't find the fact, but it was in the morning when you open your eyes, the reason why you get that kind of blinded by the light sensation, a little bit of burn, is that it's actually a layer of cells that are burning off from the day before. And I
Interesting.
have yet to be able to re-find that fact. Have any of you guys ever
Probably
heard
because
that?
it's not a fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about
There
to
you
say.
go.
Pretty sure that's the reason.
Somebody made that up.
I think it's just your eyes have been closed and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're sensitive to light and that's it.
It's just a funny enough non-fact fact that I really want to find this. I haven't tried very hard, but I want to find this source. I want
You
to
need
find
to
that
try
film.
hard now. We got to know.
yeah.
I want to
Ask
find that
ChatGPT.
film. Yeah.
If anybody knows,
It'll be
No, yeah, I could probably find some
confirm or
movies.
deny.
that said.
Shoot. Well, tell us a little bit about, Brittany, tell us about your ghosty origin story. When did Ghost Runners, first of all, how did Ghost Runners come into your life? And when did Ghost Runners come into your life?
Okay. So I think it was either 2020 or 2021.
Ooh, an OG
I
ghost.
was listening to the Do Less, God Bless podcast
Love
with
it.
Trey and Jake. And I feel like someone recently was like, was that just a fever dream or did that
Yeah.
actually exist?
What a
And it
weird
did.
comment. Yeah.
For a short time, it did. So I listened to them and they were super funny together. So backing up even before that, I would watch John Crist videos.
Oh, yeah.
And then saw a video with this guy Trey, and I thought he was copying John Crist and ripping him off. And I was like, oh my word, this guy I can't believe he is copying John Chris. Exactly. You know, and he's not even as funny. Trey who, right? So, so then I started watching Trey's videos and realizing he's not actually a competitor. You know, he's just also a funny guy. And then saw who his videographer was. It was Jake. Oh, they do a podcast together. They're super funny. And then that podcast ended. And I remember Jake talking about he does another podcast with another friend of his. And I was like, well, I guess it would be worth checking it out. Maybe it'll be interesting, you know. And started listening. I think one of my first episodes I listened to was like Beef Jerky for the Troops. I just remember that was the title. And it was so funny. It was just different than any other podcast I had tried listening to, because I wasn't a super big fan of podcasts before, because they always felt like so dull and like they have to be educational. You have to be learning something. So I was like, that's not for me. So when I started listening to Ghost Runners, it was just so effortlessly funny and laid back and wholesome. And you could just listen to hours upon hours of it and not even realize. So I just started binging. I went back to the beginning, listened up to the current episode. I think now I've done that two and a half times, maybe gone back to the beginning and listened through all of them.
Wow.
I have a note on my phone of like my favorite quotes, or like the first time they did a s'mores, or the first time they did a jingle or whatever, so I can go back and reference it.
Yeah, you have to pull up that note at some point during this conversation and just like.
Oh, I already did, because I was like, when did they first bring up the Santo Mac character? I think I wrote that down.
That was my next question. I was like, when was the first time you got mentioned on the pod?
So I think the first time the Santo Mac Facebook account was mentioned was episode 186.
Dang.
Which is so long ago, because they're in like the 400s now.
Yeah, mid 400s.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was that far back.
Yeah.
But it was 186. And then the first time they introduced the character was back in episode 24.
Wait, so they introduced the character, you assumed the profile, the character. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know any of the lore. So.
Give us a little bit.
Santorini McCluskey.
Okay, yes.
Oh, okay.
Santorini McCluskey is the full proper government name. And he is this like Italian middle-aged used car salesman, you know, type of guy who's just like, you know, how's your mom? How's the family? You want to buy a car? You know. I think the character was like, he was Jake's agent for some gig. And he was like, well, he's going to have to get through Santo Mac. You know, my boy doesn't get out of bed for 50 grand or something.
Oh my gosh, Brad is so funny. This is good to know, because now, like, I think tonight after this, I'm probably going to go listen to episode 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you should.
I started going back through them like from the beginning, because I just never did. And so, like, I'm very slow. I'm only episode 3 still. It's been like
wow.
I was going to say, like, what, it was like 3 or 4
He's
episodes
a busy
ago, you're
guy.
like, I'm on episode 2.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
I think I'm on 3 also.
Doing this, I end up listening to the episodes twice through now. So
And these. Yeah.
yeah, like, so because we're Patreon, Sunday, we get the first episode, and then Tuesday we get the second episode. A cool little moment is because this is a Tuesday that we're recording on. I reached out to Brad yesterday, and I was like, hey, any chance we could get the episode on Monday, like today, Monday, so I could prepare a little bit more for tomorrow. And he's like, dude, timing's on it. Later this afternoon, never heard back.
But you know, it's funny when you sent me the link and if you looked at when it was posted,
It was
posted yesterday,
I could have followed
but like
up.
in the evening or something.
It's just you don't want to like bother them.
yeah,
you know?
like, hey, I really need that.
You're like, hey. Plus, I mean, I was asking for a favor to begin with, so it is what it is.
Okay,
All right,
we
so
made it work.
what are go into your phone note? What are a couple of like your favorite just phrases or one-liners or just moments in general?
Oh, man. Okay, so first of all, I had a dream about Ghost Runners several years ago, probably soon after I started listening to it. Do you know the person from the podcast, Domi at Chick-fil-A?
No.
Okay. She's this lady at Chick-fil-A who is just like hilarious and like talking to Jake and Brad back in the early days of the podcast and always asking Brad, how's your friend? How's Jake? You know, I don't know. She was just funny. They talked about her a lot in the early days. So I had a dream that I somehow met her and her husband, which they've never talked about him. I have no information about him, but somehow I met him in my dream. And they were both wearing Ghost Runners shirts.
Wow.
So I don't know how they found out about it.
Is that person someone that like is on the podcast? Like if they're going to drive-throughs, or they just mention her?
I don't think she was on the podcast. I
Okay.
think they just talked about her. Like they used to go to Chick-fil-A a lot because Mr. James would like hook them up with free meals, and Domi was usually the person on the register or on the drive-through window.
And how long?
So they would just have a bunch of stories from her.
Do you remember how long that they actually recorded in Chick-fil-A, like during the pandemic?
I think it was just one.
It was just one
episode.
episode. Okay, I saw that episode. I thought that maybe it was like an era, but that's funny.
No, yeah.
That's cool.
Now the drive-through episode that they did semi-recently, that one was so fun.
It was.
Yeah. They're like getting kicked out of the drive-through.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
people
Brad's
feeling too
dad.
pressured.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah.
I love Maddie made the GIF of Brad's dad where he's like in the back of the auditorium, like fist pumping. I love that one. Occasionally I use it. It's funny.
Yeah.
So what's something about like maybe the community that you've really loved? Joining the Facebook group, like did you do that like right off the bat, or was that a couple years into your journey? And what kind of like friendships have you made along the way and stuff?
Yeah. So I did not join the Facebook group right away just because I did not have a personal Facebook account because I was like, I have an Instagram, but I thought, I don't want Facebook. So I did not have a personal Facebook account, but then I kept hearing how awesome this Facebook group is. And I was like, man, I have to find a way to get in on that. I have FOMO. I need to know what's going on in there. So then the idea came to me, what if I created a Facebook account under one of their characters that they do bits about on the podcast?
Yeah.
And immediately I thought, oh, Santo Mac, that would be so much fun. Everyone should know who that is. I'll just find some funny picture to put as the profile. And then I have an album on my phone of like Ghost Runners related photos, screenshots, memes.
Nice.
So I just dug through that, found a really funny one of Brad, put that as the profile picture, joined the Facebook group. I think my first post was like, happy birthday to Brad or something. And then soon after that, I got mentioned on an episode. They're like, who's this person? Why is he, having this picture of Brad? And I was like, it's me.
They didn't know at first. Did they think it was like an impersonator at first?
I don't know. I think they knew it was just a person that wanted to be part of the Facebook group, but just didn't want their real identity out there.
Gotcha.
And it's funny enough because now I have a real Facebook account because I wanted to do marketplace. And I figured no one would want to buy something from Santo Mac.
Except maybe a used car.
Yeah. How long before, like, from the original creation of Santo Mac, before there was like the reveal, I guess, of like who you are, that you're not indeed the used car salesman?
Yeah. It was a while, and actually, Brad and Timon called me during an episode. They were doing like just calling ghosties. I think they put something on their Instagram story, like put something here if you have a joke or a riddle or something, and we're gonna record soon, and we might call you. And so I put a riddle in there, and then I was at work, and I got a call from a Kansas number, and my heart started pounding. I'm like, are you kidding me? No way. So thankfully I was not on a call at work. And so I just turned everything off, answered it, and it was so amazing. It was so cool. So I got to finally at the end of that, as a surprise to Brad, say, oh, by the way, I'm Santo Mac in the Facebook group. And he was like, what? That's
No way.
Which episode is that? Do you know the number?
I wrote it down. Let me check. I think it's
I'm
like
taking notes here, so.
280, 286.
Okay. I'm gonna have to listen to 10 episodes here to figure out.
To piece the puzzle together. Which I love that. I love all the little connection things. Connection is like really important to me. So it's like figuring out all the behind the scenes things and all the little things that come together to make like that's so fun. That's why I love these like hanging with things now. I kind of wish that we would have done this with Malachi and Philip and Maddie instead of trying to like debrief the episodes with them, just taking a moment just to get to know them, just to say hi. Like this is so fun to me. I love hearing all this stuff.
We did I think that's pretty much what we did with Maddie.
I guess we did kind of get to know her.
We maybe debrief. We talked about like maybe one thing. Or something. Yeah.
And it's been cool because each of them, like, we now know them on a better level, and like we'll message each other sometimes, and just it's just been fun. We're having like all of them. We're gonna have back on the pod like very soon. So
Cool.
I kind of like the idea of trying to do like an Avengers episode where like we have like all of you guys.
Yeah.
And there's like
That would be really cool because actually, like you said, I'm already kind of friends with Laura, and I'm friends with Maddie too, and I'm friends with Philip. So it would just be like,
Oh, nice.
Is
oh,
that the,
It's the ghosty.
is that the
Samson.
Ghosty Island
Ghosty
thing?
Island.
Yeah.
yes.
Nice.
nice.
Philip's the lone bachelor.
The favorite bachelor.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, favorite.
Favorite bachelor. Yeah. So, wait. You said you were at work and you weren't on a call. So what do you do for work?
So I work for a local landscape company in their office, answering phones, emails, scheduling jobs.
So you're not out there with a weed whacker like.
Nope.
Cool beans. How long have you been doing that?
Just over 3 years. And then
Wow.
before that, I did house cleaning. So that's actually when I started listening to Ghost Runners, when I was a house cleaner, because it's just kind of like a mindless,
Yeah.
repetitive thing. And I was like, I need to listen to something other than my one playlist. I need something else.
Corey and I have
Really
both
like that,
worked in warehouses.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, warehouse work.
But-
It's just like headphones.
But there was
in.
not podcasts when I did it. We just turned
No,
the radio on.
podcasts existed. We just weren't into them at the time.
We had like MP3 players.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You're Gen Z, right?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. The only reason I'm saying that is because you were like, I don't know if I'm going to create a Facebook, and I'm like, I think every millennial like has a
Facebook.
default because we transitioned. Most of us, maybe not the the younger millennials, like had a MySpace or even like a Zanga.
What was your introduction to the internet, like social media? What was the first thing that you were on?
Like Pinterest as a junior high girl, maybe.
Nice.
Junior high. Wow.
What year did you graduate?
2019.
Oh, dang. So we got 10 years on
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang,
I'm just a
dude.
baby.
No way. Okay, cool beans. Well, we will do our best to impart some wisdom during this next hour.
Okay, thank you.
We're so wise.
You're so wise.
Yeah.
My t-shirt says, I'll just have the chicken tenders.
You look so wise in that shirt. You're so mature. Like,
You look so wise in that shirt. My dad made me this shirt for my birthday like 2 years ago or something. Because as a kid
That's cool.
at Chili's, I always had the chicken tenders. I just never grew out of that. Like at Chili's, I always get the chicken tenders.
and he still kind of does.
Yeah. So
He's more adventurous with food now, but like
Yeah.
every now and then, it's like just got to do the chicken tenders.
it's like a comfort food. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I maybe do chicken
feel it.
tenders like once every 3 years or something.
Yeah. But you're like you're healthier than I am.
I'm trying to be consistently healthy. Yeah.
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 What's your meal that like just brings you comfort, makes you smile?
Oh,
Did not
I
prepare for this
love
question.
pizza.
Oh yeah. What kind of pizza?
I love Hawaiian pizza.
Oh.
Sue me.
Okay.
It's so good.
No, we will not sue you. We will give you money.
Okay, great.
I have had like so many different kinds of pizza. Okay, so I mostly do keto now, so I don't eat bread for the most part.
You said
Like,
now you've been doing keto for like 5 years.
Yeah, but like most of my life,
Yeah.
I love pizza. Okay, I have had
wait,
pizza
2017.
in all kinds of different
Like
places,
8
like
years.
the Great Pizza. You know, you go to somewhere and it's
York.
like we have this kind of pizza, or like
Yeah.
random pizza, like in Fiji, pizza with bananas on it, and
Oh, yeah,
like,
that was fun.
and it,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, there's stuff that's fun that it's like, okay, this is really great, or stuff that's amazing. For me, there is nothing like a Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza, and it's just like the most basic thing. Extra sauce, got to be extra sauce, because if they get skimpy on the sauce, like that's no cool.
That's a big
not
thing
cool.
for Shelby. The
It is.
sauce.
It's like you've got to put on the sauce.
Love
but
tomatoes.
like there's something about that is just so comforting.
Yeah.
Like it's
Nostalgic,
exactly what
yeah.
I want. Like a little bit of spice, a little bit of just like melty cheese, sauciness, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
nothing matches that. So like I feel you on the pizza thing right there.
What's
but I
your
never
favorite-
have that anymore ever.
So yeah, I know. What of the big chains? What's your favorite of the chains?
Maybe Domino's. I don't know. We
Same.
don't- I've sadly had to become gluten free over the past year, and so
It's rough. I know the feeling.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a good frozen pizza that's gluten free. It's
Okay.
not the same,
What-
but it's pretty good.
brand is
so,
Yeah. What is it?
Freshetta.
Bruschetta? I
It's
thought
kind
you
of
were
like
gonna say that.
bruschetta, but
Yeah.
freshetta.
Jubilee, our 9-year-old daughter Juby, is gluten free now. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
trying to do our best with that.
I am
She's
eating
not loving that.
the amount of gluten that you guys are not eating,
You're making up for it.
Thank you.
I was going to say my go-to, kind of like for our family, it's been at Domino's, the thin crust with not Alfredo sauce, but like Parmesan garlic sauce, and then
Very specific.
bacon pineapple.
Okay.
And
Whoa.
it's so good. So
It's a family
like,
fave. Yeah.
Deidre really
Yeah.
likes at Pizza Hut. They have a barbecue beef, like it's normal sauce, normal
Yes.
cheese, and just barbecue beef.
it's like big
on the top
splotches of barbecue
yeah.
beef.
Yeah,
That was our
not every place, like not every Pizza Hut, like will do it.
yeah.
anymore.
In the '90s, that was like our Sullivan family pizza.
Yeah, that's
barbecue
caterers too.
pizza.
Yeah.
I think Domino's has a gluten-free crust now.
They do.
Yeah.
They do,
Okay.
and it's pretty good.
It's decent, yeah. And if you can get that with any toppings, I mean, we've done that for Jubilee.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. We're talking about pizza for way too long here. Why were we talking about pizza? I can cut this. But
Comfort food.
No, you're just,
comfort food,
Your
yeah.
tenders.
You asked.
I'm not cutting that.
Good stuff. This is gold. This is podcast
Yeah.
gold
This
right
is
now.
Pineapple gold.
Our love of
I think
pizza.
we need a new theme song for the Hangin' with Ghosties.
Oh,
Are
hey.
you gonna make her sing?
Oh yeah. Can you give
Oh
us
my gosh, please no.
just do the Ghost Runners podcast?
I'm definitely Jake. I'm definitely Jake when it comes to singing, and they're the other characters.
Although Brad has got such a good voice, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to Brad's voice. Brad's voice is like,
Whatever he sang on one of these last two episodes, yeah, it was like
You have a good voice, babe.
thank you. I know I have a good voice, but I think Brad has like a great voice. I mean, when he hits like so many highs and he can do like low stuff, he's got a good range, I should say. Yeah, I like hearing it. I found a video one time of him like leading worship with an acoustic guitar. I was like, yeah, man, sound good. Have you been to any ghosty events?
No, unfortunately not. I really want to, but they're always planned for like a time of year where it's super busy at work and like I could get away, but I would be so stressed the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
They need to do another one in the winter, maybe January, February before things get busy again. So
What about have you seen Jake do stand up?
no,
Oh no way.
or Trey.
I know.
I mean, I guess that would be
No.
together. Yeah. Okay.
I did see Nate Bargatze last summer.
Okay.
He came to Allentown. It was really funny.
I just saw that he's going to be in Tampa in November, and I thought we should try to get tickets.
Oh, I thought
To
you
Nate.
got tickets at some point. Or
Yeah,
did we
to
have
Trey.
some and it got.
Oh.
We have November tickets to see Trey in
Okay.
Tampa. November, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we have tickets in July, like a couple weeks from now, to see what's his name? The guy from
What are
Parks
you
and Rec.
talking about?
Parks and Rec.
Aziz Ansari?
No.
What are you
Because I'm
talking about?
technically homeless.
Oh my gosh. John Ralphio?
Yeah, what's his name?
What is his name? Why can I not think of it right now?
Ben
Ben
Schwartz?
Schwartz, yes.
Is it Ben Schwartz?
I don't know.
I love how I said
I don't
Ben
know.
like
I know who you're talking
I
about,
thought
John
of it
Ralphio.
before you did.
He does stand up.
Ben Schwartz. Yeah. He's we just watched what was the thing that we
Do you know
watched
who we're
where they
talking
did
about,
like
Brittany?
Yeah.
you watched
Okay.
Parks and Rec?
Okay. So, John Ralphio, that guy,
Yeah.
that actor.
I can't remember
my
his name
favorite.
either.
He's
He
my
is-
favorite. It is Ben Schwartz.
It's John.
Okay, so but
Ralphio.
John
John?
Ralphio,
What?
that
Ralphio. Yeah. Sorry.
that actor, he's a comedian, of course. He does a whole tour that he and his friends do improv comedy, and it's just improv sketch comedy. Like every show is completely different, and so it's actually kind of a short tour, but Tampa happens to be on their list, so I snagged some tickets to that.
I really liked how he made like a little transition from like he's kind of like the dirty type character a little bit on. I mean, he's so hilarious on Parks and Rec. He's not even really that bad or anything, but it, just kind of I don't know. It went from like at first he was like icky and annoying, and then it's like, oh my gosh, why do I love you so much on this show? But I love how he kind of made a transition into like family movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
Sonic.
it's been really fun.
He's
It's just
Sonic
like
now.
yeah. I love that.
What else has he been in?
Sonic and that squirrel movie. You remember that squirrel movie?
Oh yeah,
He was the dad.
Ulysses something.
Yeah.
I wanted to say
I don't
Ulysses S.
remember.
Grant, but that's a
That's
general.
an actual person,
All right.
not a squirrel.
Don't worry, I'm gonna cut so much
Anyway.
of this out.
Sorry. I feel like you say that every time I start talking. You're like, all right, now I'm going to cut it. Stop, wife.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I just said we're talking about Ben when we could be talking about Brittany.
We're just talking.
We are. We're just.
This is what
we're
it's
just
like to
hanging.
hang
It's
with us.
hanging, yeah.
We're just getting a little ADD over here. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So, what are some of your favorite shows? What are some of your favorite?
The Office.
Yes.
Yes. Always.
Very good.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are any
Oh,
ghosties who don't like The Office.
Are there any humans who
Did
don't like The Office?
Timon hasn't watched The
Oh,
Office.
that's true. He hasn't seen it.
Oh, and did you see Monday's episode with Zach?
Yes.
Okay, I forget if it was Monday's or Wednesday's episode, but they just briefly mentioned like, oh yeah, Zach, you don't watch the pod, And I was just like, wait, Zach doesn't watch the pod? Like Zach's not like a ghosty, but he was just filling in for Timon. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I was allowed to watch The Office until I was like
Right.
Timon's age.
I don't.
So it makes
I maybe watched periodically episodes when we hung out in high school.
Yeah.
But like onesie twosie or something. Like
I mentioned this, I think, on an earlier episode that you were the first friend that got me an Office thing.
Oh, really?
So I was one of the I watched The Office from episode 1 when it aired on accident. I wasn't like some big fan or something, but I just happened to see it on and I just loved it and I
well,
started
no one was a
watching
big
it.
fan yet.
I know, I guess, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait for The Office to come out. I just
Yeah.
accidentally happened upon it. So I loved the show. Nobody else, especially nobody else in high school, even knew or cared about the show.
Yeah.
But Corey knew that I loved the show, and just as a bud for Christmas that year, he got me like a The Office Christmas card. Or no, was it Christmas or was it my birthday? I think it was Christmas.
I don't remember any of this.
I thought it was. Sometimes Corey's a sweetie. He's got a big heart. Anyway, it was just like a cool, whatever it was, I just remember being so surprised that you were like handing me a card. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like a high school dude is giving me a card. And he like opened it up and it was like a Michael Scott recording. And yeah, I don't know, it was one of those
Sounds a little
cards.
familiar.
Yeah. Anyway,
So romantic.
yeah. But I was always trying to spread like the Office love to my friends. Our friend Zeke, I remember we went to a sleepover at his house and I brought the whole season 2 DVD set and we went through, I think, half of season 2 in one night. We just binged through it. And he was like, dude, this is great. And he was like assigning characters to like our friends in high school.
That's funny.
All right, so yeah.
What's a DVD? Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, she said.
So, okay, who do you think is the better couple? Jim and Pam or Michael and Holly? I have an opinion.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear the
Michael
hot
and
take.
Holly.
I feel like I know your opinion now, but I mean not
Yeah, just
all
the
of
fact
why,
that you
but
asked the
the
question.
fact that you asked the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
I just think Jim and Pam can be a little toxic. I don't think they
Okay.
handle their relationship correctly at certain points.
It's fair.
I think Michael and Holly are a more even match for each other because they are both the same kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They're crazy matches.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just makes more sense to me.
When he's
And-
like, because Holly's kind of a major dork.
Yeah.
Like that's just so real. Yeah.
But there's many times when they're kind of like going like back and forth, and then Holly's like, "Okay, that's enough." So like there is some
There is
yin
a
and
balance,
yang.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
What's
and
happening
Holly
there.
like brings out the best in Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like all of his other relationships, he turned into like a crazy
Jam.
person. It's like she really pulled something out of him and like,
She healed his inner child.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And loved the things about him that are truly him
Right.
and not, yeah, like
I always kind of wonder what could have been with the desk chair lady, though. I'm just kidding. I don't know why that one.
The desk chair model. Yeah. And they go dance on the grave.
the frustrating thing with Jim and Pam. Sorry, I'm getting real serious into this.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
could go deep here into the wormhole.
Let's talk relationships, guys.
Yeah, let's do
Office.
it. I kind of the thing that has to be done in like every sitcom, you know, which is like you're in a relationship, and like then I'm in a relationship, and it's like it's not necessarily
never worked
organic
out, the
as
timing.
much as they do it because they have to prolong things. And it just feels like a little forced. But I didn't think about it as much in The Office because, you know, we were just having fun watching it. But like now that I'm an adult and I've binge watched many sitcoms and you see that exact same pattern in so many TV shows, it's just kind of like,
Yeah, like
we're going
Friends,
around again. Well, Friends was the worst because
And,
they dragged it out for like 9 seasons.
New
It's
Girl.
ridiculous.
It's
It's like
another
we
one.
have a child together, but we don't know if we have feelings for each other. Sorry.
Love is a choice.
No, but also just the fact that it's like someone's already a couple, and then they get kind of pulled apart by another. Like that's just like a sad
Yeah.
thing. Even if they didn't seem like, I mean, they purposely made Pam and Roy kind of seem like they weren't a good fit anyway. But,
Yeah, and like
but
she's
still-
staying with him because like it's easy, I guess. But at a certain point, I'm just kind of like, oh man, like if you didn't choose somebody, like do you really love them? Like I don't know, that's kind of rough. But I mean, I guess people make mistakes. Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking too deeply into it.
I love all that stuff. And I also just started listening again recently to
The Office ladies,
Office Ladies, but it was
reading your mind.
Thank you. I saw a clip like on Instagram Reels or something. I saw a little clip of they were a guest on Pod Meets World. So like Topanga, Sean, and Corey's older brother, Eric. Sorry. Okay. So
Oh my gosh, did you watch Boy Meets World? Are you too young for
No.
that? Okay, you're too young for that, but you got to go back. This is good stuff.
wow,
Boy Meets World.
the three of them are talking to Angela and Pam from The Office. And so the five of them are on, and they each watch one episode of each other's show. And it was just really cool, like, because Angela and Pam from The Office, names. It doesn't really matter. They're actresses' names. They had never
Jenna
seen
Fisher
Jenna
and
Fisher. And her name's Angela in real life, right? Angela
Is it?
Kinsey,
Oh, okay,
I
sure.
think. So, but they had never seen an episode of Boy Meets World. But the Boy Meets World cast was like obsessed. And Will Friedle, Eric,
Yeah.
he has like a photographic memory of the show. So like they had
Oh my
mentioned
gosh.
like some random episode from like season 6 or whatever. And
Why
he-
am I not listening to this podcast?
And then Will Friedle just like line for line just gives the dialogue, boom, 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 and he's like, and your hair was like up like in a tight pin, and you were wearing like a striped dress, and they were like, oh my gosh, Will, you have to come like be a regular part of our podcast. You know more about our show than we do.
Oh my gosh.
So that was really fun just to hear.
Okay,
them.
wait. We got to give Santo Mac some homework here. You have to watch Boy Meets World. It's so good, okay? All right.
I have not watched that many
Hi.
episodes of Boy Meets World either. So
Do you have Disney Plus?
You haven't watched what?
I used
I've
to.
seen some, but
Okay.
And now there are things that it's like, all right, shows from the 90s and stuff. Yeah, there was like toxic stuff that like now people in our generation would be like, well, like that's
Yeah.
not healthy.
Like The Office.
That's not a healthy way to have. But there is something about like the way that the parents are wise. Like in the 2000s, like every parent is an idiot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the kids don't listen. It's like in the 90s, it's like parents and teachers, they were like good guidance. They gave good guidance. And,
Yeah, good point.
and there was good relationships. Like, yeah, there's some stuff that's more wholesome. And then there's some stuff that it's like, well, we've grown out of that. But like, it's good stuff. It's just hilarious. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I
Sure.
watch it and I feel like the comedy holds,
Oh yeah, no,
right?
It does.
Like
it
it'd
does.
still be good today. Like it's pretty
there's
great.
just so much content to like. What do I want to spend my time?
We just talked about this recently. Like it's a hard sell when you're trying to tell somebody to watch something or listen to a new
Right.
podcast.
Because you probably already have a list of
hard
things
sell.
in your head that you're like, I keep hearing all these people say I should watch this or Severance or whatever. Like you guys were
Yeah.
like dogging
I
me
gotta
about
say,
that.
though,
Like, I
like-
don't have time for all that.
For me, it's hard to
nobody
find
that
shows
stresses me out a little bit.
now that are good that aren't full of stuff that I don't want to see.
Right, but part of what we love about Boy Meets World, even just that one show, is the nostalgia.
Is the nostalgia? No, that's true.
And she's a grown
Okay,
adult
to it.
now.
Yeah,
so
I know, but
starting
I
off
feel
there.
like that's why I was saying.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
the
didn't
comedy
even exist
holds.
in the 90s.
So tell us more about your shows. You mentioned The Office, and we cut you off and went on a
And we
wild
went
goose chase.
crazy. Sorry.
But or
Oh,
a wild
that's okay.
detour. Tell us more about the content that you love.
Honestly, I watch a lot of baseball.
Wow.
Really?
We love
Interesting.
baseball.
Is it
Yeah,
the Pirates? No. Sorry, the Phillies, right?
there you go, Phillies.
okay.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
was
say
trying to
we.
remember where.
So,
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, do you have somebody that you watch the games with regularly?
usually my mom. She is really into baseball too. When she grew up, she and her sister used to like trade baseball cards in the neighborhood.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Very nice.
Aw.
all that
Big
stuff.
Bryce
So,
Harper fan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Growing up, did you play any sports, like any little league stuff?
not really. I did volleyball in high school, and I enjoyed that. Any other sport, I'm not really coordinated enough for. So.
Me too.
Shelby was a
the
volleyball
same.
girly.
I played volleyball and I'm not that coordinated. That's
Yeah.
real similar.
Yeah.
She was tall, so
I was
everyone
tall.
was always like, "Oh, do you play basketball?" Or-
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. How tall are you, Shelby?
I'm 5'11".
Okay, I think I'm like
6'4".
5'9".
Oh wow. Yeah, so pretty tall. Did people ever tell you you were a waste of height?
No.
I've been told
And
that
I'm
all my
sorry
life.
that anyone said that to you.
I've been told that many times.
Oh my goodness.
That just makes me think of the comment that Jake said that guy was like catcalling him and said, "Hey legs" or something like that. Or no, wait. What am I mixing
Hey,
that up?
Smiley.
No, he said, "Hey Smiley."
Hey, Smiley.
No, sorry. On Trey Kennedy's podcast, I think
Correct opinions.
yeah, Correct Opinions, Katie said that the waitress said like, "Hey legs" or something like that.
I
or
remember
something. Or, sorry, I'm mixed up the
Interesting.
two things.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
weird.
I've had compliments too. I don't mean to. It wasn't all negative,
Yes.
but yeah, everyone's when someone asks me if I play basketball, like I'm really not good at basketball. Like, oh, waste of height. Yeah,
Wow.
Oh man.
and volleyball, like I wasn't that great at that either. So, It's like I should have been a
just have
good
to
blocker,
get
but
up there, yeah.
really wasn't.
Gotta jump.
Really could not block to save my life.
Now, Brittany, do you have any of the ghosty earrings that Maddie makes?
No, but I have a keychain from her.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Okay.
So it's the same design as the earrings, but just a keychain.
Very cool.
Are you
wearing,
go ahead.
I was saying you're wearing a ghosty shirt too. I think I maybe saw it.
I am. Let me see.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
I remember that one. That
Yeah.
one's not it's not on the store anymore, I think, right?
Is it like an ET
No,
thing?
it's-
Like on the bike?
I don't think so. It's just like a tandem bike.
Oh, okay.
Bike, yeah.
It was just a
Yeah.
quick clip. Just for some reason, I thought it was like a bike with like a basket. I don't know. Oh, okay, gotcha. That is not ET.
Yeah. No.
So the first time that we met Brad, my son Justice and I, you know the story. We go to see this eclipse and we go to church and we go to Brad's church and we meet him. Well, Justice had this Ghost Runners shirt that we like very last minute happened upon like this. We're gonna go to church. Like, it was like that week, so we didn't have time to order any merch. And even if we did, I don't think there was the merch in his size of that print that he wanted. So my dad has like a Cricut thing you can make T-shirts. That's how he made this shirt. That's how we made our Ghosties on Second shirts. My dad just like, we found whatever logo that Justice wanted. It's like the Ghosty logo with the microphone or whatever. And he just like printed it out and put it on a shirt that we bought at Walmart real quick. And we go up there. And it was so embarrassing to like meet Brad and be like, we have non-official merch.
Yeah.
Like Justice's like favorite
We
shirt.
did not pay for our merch. We
And
just-
I kind of accidentally lied in the moment. I didn't mean to lie. I just like I said something in the heat of the moment,
It
and
felt awkward.
yeah. Well, he's like, because he noticed that it wasn't official. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I could see him seeing that, and I was like, oh, like the shipment wouldn't be here in time to go, and so I kind of like implied that like I had already ordered something and it just wasn't there on time, so we had to make our own. When really I should have just said, if I put the order in, it wouldn't have got there on time, so we just made our own. And we've eventually since then we've ordered plenty of merch, like 3 different times.
I'm
but
sure he was not analyzing that statement
Yeah.
as
I-
much as you were.
He's like,
But no,
I
you know
am not
why?
gonna do anything this
he
year
gets the
because of this
alerts
transaction.
whenever
He
there's
couldn't
an
sleep
order.
that night.
Like whenever there's a merch order, he gets
Yeah.
an alert. So like
that's funny.
I am sure that when I said that, he was just thinking,
I don't remember from this guy.
no, you actually didn't order anything from us.
I still doubt. Like, I'm sure he gets like
He's
multiple orders
not
a week.
thinking
So
about that.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Brad. Did not mean to lie to you, brother. Love you, man.
And we have since bought Justice merch.
Did you ever like of clean comics? Did you have any favorite Christian comedians growing up?
Brian Regan.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love Brian Regan.
Thank
I
you.
grew up on him, and like I
too.
could quote his jokes. I could quote his jokes before I even got them,
Yeah.
just because like my siblings would listen to him and laugh, and I knew where they would laugh, and so I would laugh, and
Oh
then
my
like
gosh.
re-listening to them as I get older, I'm like, that is actually hilarious.
I just got goosebumps because like that made me so happy that you also love Brian Regan.
Yeah.
I remember. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just going to say so much of it is relatable. It's very easily quotable in life. I think like there are many instances when I'm walking away from a situation going, I'm the idiot that doesn't know how to use the you too phrase. Like I do that a lot because, you know, it's like, yeah, you too.
Where's
Yeah.
it coming out of?
Yeah.
And we put it
Take
on.
luck.
Yeah, take
Take
luck.
luck.
If you
it's
if you
great.
need it, if you have, take some of it. We put it on for Justice in
Yeah.
the car, and he loved it. And it was just funny because it was several years ago. He was so young that we're like, surely he doesn't get half of this stuff. But he was, I think he was just like laughing that we were laughing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Brian Regan's intonations, like you said, even before you know what it means, like it's funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's
It's
Yeah.
funny that you say that about like laughing just because you guys are laughing. Yesterday when I was listening to this or the Ghost Runners podcast from the Monday's episode, I think, and I was cracking up at the ad reads because they were just hilarious on Monday's episode.
Yeah.
And I had an AirPod in, and Levi heard me laughing, and he's like, what are you laughing at?" And I said, "Oh, this podcast, it's funny or whatever." And then I started cracking up again, and he was just like, and I was like, "What? You can't hear?" I was like, "Whatever." That's my 4-year-old son. He was just laughing.
I miss that guy.
Levi's so cool. We did the pool party at Corey's house. Was it last week? Week or two ago?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was just fun, just being in the pool with the kids. It was I feel like it was like a 2-hour hang. Like it was a quick hang.
Yeah.
But it was
You
just
guys were
fun.
late.
Like,
Because
yeah.
I still couldn't come.
I know.
Because we had more sick kids.
We can't stop being sick. So.
I know. We keep just passing stuff around. Oh my.
The moral of
That's
that
funny.
story is don't have kids.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just kidding.
that's not it.
I mean, you'll go through some sick years and then you'll recover after
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I just don't even notice that I'm sick anymore. I'm just like,
Yeah.
fine.
I know my wife
fine.
gives me a hard time because I'm like, I feel like I wasn't getting sick before kids. And now she's like, this too shall pass, basically. You know?
Yeah,
So,
they
Yeah.
pass germs around. It's really,
Worth it.
it's, it's strengthening your system.
Time will tell.
You know,
Yeah, time will tell.
we should have hand desanitizing stations.
Yeah.
What's that from?
Office.
The Office,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Dwight,
Okay.
yeah.
He's like, I welcome you. Cough
He's like,
on
spit
me.
on my hand. Gross. I think somebody
man.
coughs in his face or sneezes in his face.
Yeah, that's like a
Jim?
whole scene where
Yeah.
they're all like, they're going out of their way to like, yeah.
Man, I'm still thinking about just your love of baseball and you and your mom watching games. Did you guys ever do you ever go to games, or when you were a kid, or even now, or is it more of just like on the couch?
I mean, we love couch games. But I just actually went to my first Phillies game last year.
Wow.
And I went to my first game on a Wednesday, and then I went to my second ever game that Saturday. And it was kind of a weird situation how it happened. My sister and I bought tickets for the Saturday game. It was in August. We bought tickets for the Saturday game back in like March or April. And then I entered a giveaway for tickets for that Wednesday's game, 4 tickets, and we won. And so I took some of my coworkers, and we took the half day, and we went. So I was there for the first time on Wednesday, and then second time ever that Saturday. So it was super fun. I want to go back again. But we have our local team. It's the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs,
Ooh.
Okay.
and they are like the farm team for the Phillies.
Oh, really?
So
That close?
they're just like 20, 30 minutes away.
Wow.
Now, aren't the here in our hometown, like 10 minutes from us, is Clearwater, Florida,
Yeah.
and aren't
Oh,
the
yeah.
the Threshers? Aren't those also a farm team for the Phillies, or am I off on that?
I believe so,
Yeah.
and I think they do their spring training
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that area as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The-
Yeah, I've
exactly
been to a
that.
Threshers game.
Yeah.
It's been a number of years, but
Yeah.
actually, I was invited to go at the hotel. I'm in like a Chamber of Commerce thing, and they were doing an event, and it was the Threshers playing somebody else this past season, and it was like they had a big box seat and everything. But I really wanted to go, and it was like you could bring up to 4 people, so I was going to invite you and Josh and stuff. But it was on a night that we already had something else planned, so we didn't end up working out. But yeah, I was this close to going to a Threshers game this past season. We'll do it again.
My
Right
sister
now,
and I actually were talking about like maybe going to a Phillies spring training game this past spring, but it just didn't work out. So maybe next year.
and that's in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in
okay.
Clearwater.
It's at the Thresher Stadium.
Okay, well, when you want to do it, let me know. I got the hotel hookup for you. Your hotel stay will be covered. You'll be able to
Awesome.
yeah, free stay at the hotel.
Covered.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
I know it's
thank you.
awesome, right?
I thought only I got that. And Brad. Just kidding.
You're not special, Corey.
Yeah, just get that direct flight from Southwest right into Clearwater, and then I'm just kidding. Okay.
I wanted to ask.
Actually,
like,
Allegiant.
Oh, Allegiant.
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
what
say.
meant. Yeah, Allegiant.
I don't think Southwest goes to Clearwater.
Yeah, they go to Tampa.
Yeah.
My bad. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I wanted to ask like what else do you feel like is you? You know, like for people to get to know you, because we could ask specific questions, but it may have nothing to do with like these big parts of your life that we just don't know exist. So
Give us your
Sure.
like Ghosty Island profile.
Yes, I'm single. Well, I'm 24.
Okay.
Just turned 24. I have 4 older siblings, and they're all older than me by quite a margin. So the sibling that is the closest to me in age is 7 years older than me,
oh wow.
and then 9 years, 11 years, and 13 years older than me. So I got picked on quite a bit growing up.
You're better for it now, though, right?
Yeah. Where I get my sense of humor from and my sarcasm.
Being that far younger, were you like the significant favorite? Like, was it like Joseph and his brothers? Or
Well, I guess you'd have to ask them that because, from my perspective, it's like, not really, but maybe
Yeah.
they would say otherwise. I don't know. I know when I was like really young, I definitely got spoiled just because they were all, holding me and kissing me and
Yeah.
playing with me. But then as you get older, it's like trying to catch up to them and
Yeah.
mature faster so that you can be like them
Yeah.
and be included in what they're doing. So it kind of changes then.
Yeah.
But now I get to be an aunt and enjoy all the fun parts of little
yeah,
kids without any of the responsibility. And it's just great.
yeah. Malachi just he texted me today or yesterday. I think it was today, and it was just like he was just updating me. He and I text regularly now. He just was like, "Oh, dude, my niece just learned how to walk," and like sent me like a little video of her just like walking. And it was just such a cool, just seeing him, just being just so happy, like being a proud uncle. Like, and Shelby's sister just had a baby 6 weeks ago, little Carmi, and I hadn't seen him just because of all the different things going around. Like, so the other day I was able to just go hang out with Shelby's sister Lindsay, brother-in-law Josh, who's been like a best friend since childhood, and then hang out with baby Carmi for like just an hour and a half. It was just so sweet just to be with him. And it's just like there's just something about this like a little baby. It's just he's not doing anything. He's just looking around. He's just being cute and smiling. But it's just like just the pure joy. I just love that.
Yeah, I never really got we were the first people of our families, of our friend group. Like, we were the first to have kids. We got married pretty young and started having kids right away. And so it's just like, I never got the being an aunt thing. So that's just like super enjoy that. That's really special. How many nieces and nephews do you have?
Number 13 is coming in October.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Bill Gates would not like that number.
That's great. That's great.
That's
yeah,
so
my
cool.
older sister has 6 kids.
Yeah.
So my little
Same.
sister just had her first. So yeah, that's awesome. We love it.
Yeah.
And of
We're
your
just popping
siblings, how many are guys and girls?
I have 2 older, so the oldest 2 are sisters, and then the middle 2 are brothers, and then me.
Cool beans. Are all of them now? Is baseball? I keep coming back to baseball. I'm sorry.
Let's go back to baseball.
Is that like is that a family thing, or is that you and your mom a special thing for you guys?
I mean, my sister my second oldest sister will sometimes watch a game with us. It's definitely more like my mom is way into it, and then I've kind of picked it up from her. My dad's not really into it, but he'll like try to watch a game and be like, "Now who's playing? What just happened?"
I'm not really into baseball either, but like that was a sport that I played a couple different times growing up. Me and Corey were on the baseball team at our school junior year. It was a terrible team. Yeah. In fact, in our high school, it was like a small Christian school. They have like the glass the glass enclosure, trophy case. And there's a trophy there from our season. It has all of our names, and it says like regional champs or something. This is not real. Like, the coach definitely manufactured that himself.
I didn't even know about this until maybe like a year or two ago when we went to go play basketball there, and you were like, "Look at this," and I was like, "What is this? This did not happen."
Yeah, it's just so funny because like I think we won 1 game that season, maybe 2, and it was just a terribly behaved team. Like, so many of the guys, we'd be like driving on the bus to games, and they'd be like throwing baseballs out the
They
window.
would like unthread it and then let it like dangle, and it's like obviously that's
like hitting other cars. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Sorry,
so bad.
but I think I keep asking that because like there's this little part of me. I wish that our kids would play baseball. Like, I wish that Justice would just want to play a year or 2 or something. And because there's something so just American about baseball. Yeah. And watching Moneyball a few weeks ago, I just love rookie.
Well, you've never been super into baseball though, so why would our kids be?
Yeah, no, I know. But there's just something like I could be a baseball dad for a season or 2.
Yeah, I
Rookie
feel
of the
like
year,
it would be hard
Angels
for me
in
to
the
be a baseball
outfield.
mom. That's part of the. Ooh, it is hot in Florida.
Yeah.
It is hot.
But there are a lot of night. You can
We
go to
are
night games.
we are going through a heat wave right now too. I mean, I think the whole country is kind of, but
Yeah. Actually, I just saw that on the news. Yeah, there was like it was a wave of heat.
Yeah.
What does
State the
a heat wave
obvious.
look like up there? Like
Yeah, are you like in the low
It's
90s?
probably hotter than here. I bet you.
yeah, it was. I think the high today was like 95 or 96.
That's
yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
normal
That was
day.
that was
That's
no,
like
no,
a
no,
Yeah.
That's higher than here.
No, yeah, we had a high of 92 today.
It's still technically higher.
Yeah, no,
than
I know.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was kidding.
Yeah, but that's not the normal here.
Yeah.
Normally
Yeah.
summer is like in the 80s, so
Hey,
it's
but
rare for us to get
Same.
days
It's-
in the 90s.
It's not the heat; it's the humidity that gets you.
Yeah, but they actually said on the podcast they were talking about in Iowa. I think Jake was talking about he played pickleball there or something like that, and it was like 70 something degrees, but the humidity was 100%. And he was
Does that
like,
mean it's raining?
"No, that's what I thought too." But you think the corn or whatever, the corn sweats or whatever.
Oh
And so like, yeah. Then I looked up because I thought
corn sweats.
it's got to be 90s to 100 humidity here in the heat of the summer. I think when they had that podcast released last year, and it's not. It's like we're in like the 60s or 70s. But yeah, in Iowa, it said I forget the metric now. It makes me want to go look it up. But like how many thousands of gallons, like an acre of corn, like just releases out into the atmosphere.
Wow.
Yeah, a day,
Dang.
per day.
Or maize,
Crazy.
as the Native Americans used to call it.
Yeah. What else is in your profile?
We already talked about coffee. It's a big part of me.
Wait, what's your coffee
Oh, wait.
routine? We didn't talk about coffee on the
that
cam.
on the.
Oh,
yeah,
it's true.
on
That
the
was
recording.
pre-
Okay,
pod.
that was off the record. I forgot. So I always drink coffee in the morning. I wake up and I go to the kitchen, make a cup of coffee. It's got to be a hot coffee first thing in the morning.
What brand would you
then-
say is your favorite brand?
Main Street
There's only one
Roasters?
correct, one correct answer here.
She's a Main Street ghoster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Napa News.
Oh yeah. I like flavored coffee actually. So I've tried several different flavors from Main Street. I like their blueberry cinnamon crumble.
Blueberry.
Amazing.
The word crumble is a
Is
great
there-
adjective.
Is there like a decent amount of like, what's the, like, explain the blueberry? Because I'm always just nervous to like try any of that. 'Cause it doesn't sound like it'd be good.
I love blueberry coffee. Actually, any kind of fruit flavored coffee, I love. Blueberry coffee. I've had banana coffee. It's amazing.
Ooh, banana.
Blackberry coffee,
Okay.
cherry coffee. So if you haven't tried it before, you should because it's really good.
Don't
And
they
then
do a
the
sample
blueberry
pack?
cinnamon crumble, it has the cinnamon too to help it.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I do like cinnamon in the coffee. It's good. They do. They
Go
do.
for cinnamon,
They
probably.
do the sample packs, but like not you can't like pick which one. It's like they're like bestsellers or whatever.
Okay.
Because I bought that like the holiday one and then the normal one for the holidays, and I gave them out to everybody. I think I
Right,
gave
yeah,
you
give
guys
us
some,
one. Yeah. Maybe you could call them and be like, hey, I want to try all of your fruit blends.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
you
gonna do a
customize
wholesale order, and then like, nah, just kidding.
this? So your coffee routine, is it just in the morning?
I always have a cup in the morning, and then not every day, but most days I'll probably have one in the afternoon, maybe an iced coffee from Wawa, from a local coffee shop, or we have a Keurig in the office. If I'm really desperate, I can just make a Keurig coffee.
Nice.
Okay, so you work in
Yeah.
an office. Do you ever work from home, or is it 100% in office?
It is in the office unless the Wi-Fi's out there, then I can work from home, but most days I'm going into the office. And I actually kind of prefer that. I don't mind working at home. It's obviously comfortable, but I like having that like separation of I am going to work. I am now leaving work. Yeah.
It's funny that you specifically made the comment about like, if the Wi-Fi is not working, I will be home. But I just felt like maybe the Wi-Fi goes out periodically. Is that the case? Or
Yes.
that's just the kind
So
of like, okay.
it's like
So what's
near a big power line thing, which you think would make it really secure,
Sure.
but it doesn't. And we do lose Wi-Fi or
Okay.
power if it's really windy. So
Oh,
it's not a big office building. It's like literally a pole barn.
okay. Oh, that makes
Some
sense. I think
offices.
when we first, like my work first went to like a partial work from home or whatever, it was like that too. Like if for some reason, like something goes wrong here, you can go home too and work. And it's like, I don't think something's going to go wrong here. But it's funny that you said, like, it just sounded like by the way you said it that something does go wrong periodically.
Yeah.
Shelby, I know you have another question burning.
Oh, yeah. My next question. I actually did have one. I was just waiting until
I
like
knew.
conversation was, you know.
So
You guys are
Back
just
to
so
the
in
simmer.
tune with each other. It's so cute.
Oh, thanks. We've been together for a very long time.
not as long as Caleb and I.
That's
I'm
right.
just kidding.
That's right.
Longer, actually, I
kidding.
think.
Yeah.
Barely longer.
Hey, you guys are
Barely
cute too, okay?
Yeah, it is. It's cute. No, I was gonna ask, what about music? What's like,
Oh,
what do
yes.
you have that you're listening to, you know, in the car or just any old time? Is it random? Is it stuff that you're passionate about?
Should we
Anything?
guess? Well, before you say it, should we guess?
All right.
what-
Yeah. Let's guess what kind of music she is.
EDM.
No. It's I'm gonna say
She's 24.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with reggae. She's pretty into reggae.
You guys are
Just kidding.
Acoustic worship.
That's a good one.
You're not wrong.
That's like your favorite.
About
go-to?
reggae?
all
No.
three.
No.
Just kidding.
EDM, reggae, and acoustic worship.
Acoustic reggae worship. That's it. Who are
Yeah,
some
no,
of
usually
your,
just like some Christian music in the background. I try to listen to something as I'm working, but it can't be like too loud
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because I'm doing it while I'm working, so I kind of just want it in the background. I will listen to classical music too, just especially if I'm trying to like focus on a
Yes.
project
Same.
or
Yeah.
just I don't know, really concentrate. I don't want anything vocal. I just want instrumental, even like soundtracks help me get in the mood.
Yes.
Just like intense,
Real quick,
you know.
give us some of your
Yeah, yeah,
soundtracks. Give us like 2 or 3 soundtracks that you go to, or even favorite
Pirates of the
composers.
Caribbean.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
good. Do you just listen, like you search the whole, like you put that whole soundtrack album and listen to it, or it's like key songs from like the theme songs or whatever?
Kind of, I don't know. I know all of the songs because again, like I kind of grew up on it, kind of like Brian Regan. My
Yeah.
siblings would listen to the soundtracks and watch the movies, so I grew up
Okay.
listening to it. Yeah, I'll just listen to all of them. The new Lion King has a good
I
soundtrack.
just wanted a brother. We just say that line all the time. That's it. That's all I know from it.
My sister and I had we had the Titanic soundtrack. This is not dating us, I guess, when we were little, and we would put it in like the like multimedia whatever player thing. It had a record player on the top, if that gives it. But it like and cassette. But we put it in the CD thing, and we played so many times. We played "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion that like we broke the CD.
How does that one go again?
My heart will go on.
Yeah, how's that go?
I'm not gonna sing that.
I was hoping that he'd give us a little.
We had the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch soundtrack, and we'd play that all the time. And my cousin and I just have this vivid memory of us fighting over who got to be Faith Hill singing "Where Are You Christmas."
Oh God, that's funny.
I was gonna try to. I might try to pull it up real quick. This is. There were so many soundtracks growing up, but a notable soundtrack. Hold on, let me pull it up.
I was gonna
My
say
favorite movie of all time, Interstellar.
Oh,
Have you seen it?
I just rewatched that.
I have actually not seen Interstellar. I've
did.
actually never watched that.
I rewatched it like a couple months ago.
Yeah, same.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The first time
When
I
did
watched
this
it,
happen?
I was on
it just
Was I
in
asleep?
pieces.
a
No,
work trip.
like,
Yeah, I was on a work trip in Vegas.
it was on my
and
phone, like in pieces.
Watched it in like 30-minute
Which
every
is
night.
sad. It's sad to watch Interstellar on your phone, but
Yeah. I think I watched it on iPad the first time.
I
too.
missed the wave when it was like a big deal and everybody was watching. I don't know why. What was happening when that came out? Like, why would I have missed that movie?
that was. I'm gonna say that was 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay, so that's when Justice was baby.
Justice
That's
was a
why.
baby, yep.
Yeah, I think everybody went to see it and I didn't. So
Yes.
I didn't see it in the theater.
missed
but
it.
You were a child.
Does that have a
when
good
came out,
soundtrack?
so.
Does that have like good?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's a legendary.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just search Hans Zimmer and listen to those soundtracks. Like
We do that with Hans Zimmer
Gladiator.
sometimes, and then sometimes John Williams will stick
Yeah.
on. We'll
So
just put on John
yeah,
Williams and
sometimes
listen.
we'll do like we'll type in the best of Hans Zimmer or best of John Williams and just
good.
listen to and I love doing that. And sometimes we'll have a little contest who can like call out what movie it's from because like especially
Which
with
Justice is so quick at that.
he's so good,
really good.
But like specifically, I'm sure it's like this with everybody, but specifically those two, Hans Zimmer and John Williams, their style is so particular that I feel like it's
You can spot them in any movie and be
you
like,
can just
oh,
hear them. Yeah, it's like of course, Home Alone, of course, Hook, of course, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and then with Hans Zimmer, it's like The Lion King, and then Interstellar and Gladiator. Yeah, it's like
Superman. Yeah. Batman.
completely different styles, but I just love them both so much. I have to say that I love John Williams more because that's the soundtrack of my childhood more than Hans, but Hans is more of like
Current.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so-
like to search the worst of Hans Zimmer. I don't know why I thought of that. I was just like, I wonder if there's a playlist out there.
So when you guys were telling little stories about like putting on soundtracks in your house, the Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, which is episode 1, we had that CD, and I used to put that on, and I used to put this track on when nobody was around, and I would just dance like a wild boy. Like I looked like a little tribal boy. I mean, I don't even want to know what I looked like dancing in like the third grade. I don't know. But I'll give you a quick sneak peek of it.
What's like the famous like early YouTube days thing with the kid with the lightsaber? Like if somebody would have been videoing you,
Yeah,
like,
I would have
oh my
gone viral
gosh,
for the
yeah.
wrong reasons. All right, hopefully this doesn't be too loud. Hold on. Let me make sure. Ready? All right, I don't want to get copyright stricken, but that's the final scene of the episode
Yeah.
1, and it's like there's like a big party happening, or a big parade happening, and I used to dance so hard to that song.
I haven't seen that episode. I mean, that movie in so long. I need to go rewatch
Oh yeah,
that.
man. That's Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
That's Darth Maul with the double-bladed lightsaber, and they're going
Oh, I
for
remember.
it.
We've
like,
rewatched
that's-
these
I just don't
things
remember,
many
like,
times.
The last thing.
Brittany, are you familiar with Star Wars at all?
Yes, watched
Okay.
all of them.
Nice.
Definitely.
We just finished. My wife and I just finished watching all the Avengers movies, except for we just labored through
Duel of the Fates
Falcon
is so
and the Winter Soldier, the show, so that we could be prefaced to watch
The movie.
the Captain America.
good. Yeah.
Well, we did also watch whatever. Anyways, the point I was getting to is I was trying to convince her like the next thing we need to watch is either Star Wars to rewatch it, and I think she's like, let's do Lord of the Rings. 'Cause we've done.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
We've done.
She's seen Lord of the Rings, though,
Brittany,
right?
Yeah,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings
yeah.
fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Good.
We've done Harry Potter like a number of times, and it's just
Right.
like I don't like. I'm not ready to watch that again. Like I'm not ready to invest that time. It's good, but it's just like I haven't seen Star Wars in a while, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
The
on a
first Lord of the
regular.
Rings, I
Yeah.
feel like is a little slow. It's
What?
good,
No,
but it's
no.
So the
a little
first
slow.
one is the best.
Shire.
Maybe like the first hour or so. It's just like kind of like let's get to the.
No,
Okay.
that's my favorite part. Is
I
like the
know what you're
beginning.
talking
But I
about,
love beginnings.
but I
I
disagree.
tend to like love
But I know what
beginnings
you
in
mean.
movies.
Yeah.
But it's
Sorry.
kind of like the first Star Wars, like A New Hope. They're
New
on, they're
Hope
on the
is
desert
slow.
planet for like an hour, and like they're building, but they're really laying the groundwork.
That's
For the rest
literally
of
the
the story.
same thing.
But
Okay.
the thing about Lord of the Rings, and I can see. I mean, like.
Oh, the
Okay,
Hobbits
your
win my
opinion,
heart.
Sure, but I'm just giving.
The Hobbits
this
will
is
have
my
my heart
opinion.
forever.
It's I love the Shire and the Hobbits
yeah,
and the
yeah.
life and like the joy
Yeah, it's
and
heaven
before
on
it
earth.
it starts to get heavy, and I love all of the heaviness through Lord of the Rings. But like the beginning and the Shire, and it's happy, and it's like you can't beat that.
It really is them building the framework of like the context that you need to like follow Frodo and
But also just
Yeah.
it's just like setting you, it's bringing you into the world.
I need to
Here's
rewatch
where you
it
are.
and then
Yeah,
let you
you
see
do.
if my opinion
You
changes.
do.
but-
What's your
Yeah.
opinion, Laura?
Let's
Not
move
Laura.
on. I'm just kidding.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion, Brittany?
I love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I've seen all of them a couple times. Yeah, there are definitely some slow parts, and
Thank you.
Like I don't feel like the beginning is. I just don't. I get that there's some slow parts, but that part to me doesn't.
No, I like the beginning too. It's like ultimate cottage core,
Yeah.
cozy. Like I would love to be a hobbit there in the Shire. Have you seen? There's like Airbnbs that
Yeah.
are themed for
Yes.
like a hobbit hole. Oh my
Yeah.
word! I
So
want to
amazing.
live in one
You
of
guys
those.
should put. You
Yeah.
can, since you're single, you can put on your profile like loves hairy feet. I want to be a hobbit
Yeah.
so bad. I'm just
The
kidding.
hairier, the better.
I'd be totally like Gandalfing it and slapping my head into the frames of a Hobbit
yeah.
hole.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean,
all the wasted height.
like it-
no, I
It's so
think
awesome.
now that we're talking about the Hobbit, I think maybe I haven't seen all of the Hobbits.
those are definitely not.
Oh wait,
as
wait.
Good.
I want to find out because you're younger. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the Lord of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy?
Can't
Um,
say a second one, can you?
The fact that
Maybe
you're troubled
slightly
over
The Hobbit more, although they are
Wow.
both very good.
Wow, that is
What-
interesting.
No, yeah. What's crazy to us is like growing up on the Lord of the Rings and like getting like the DVD series before Blu-ray even, and like you're watching all the behind the scenes clips and features on the DVDs, and just like getting obsessed with those movies. And they came out 1 year after the other. I guess like the
We
Hobbit
had the
did.
first one on VHS.
Oh, you're right. Actually, it
Yeah.
was on VHS
Yeah.
too. We had it on DVD though, so one up to you.
I know. Well, we were like 10 years behind everybody anyway.
Trailer park. We were still living in the trailer park. At that point?
No, we were out of the trailer park by that point, but we still had like no technology.
But it was like I mean, me and my brothers at least were like obsessed with the Lord of the Rings and like seeing all the behind the scenes stuff of them making the costumes and the chainmail and stuff. So when the Hobbit came out and it was just a little bit heavier CGI than the Lord of the Rings was like heavier on like the practical
Authentic, yeah.
stuff. So that was the only thing is because we kind of grew up on the Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit was a little bit of a different thing. And I came to find out years later that the reason why it feels so different is that Guillermo del Toro was going to direct the movies. And they had the whole thing set up. He had done 2 years of previs on the movie. And then for whatever reason, backed out of the contract. And so they had to bring Peter Jackson in last minute. So Peter Jackson had, I think, 4 months. So he had to take what Guillermo del Toro, who's a completely different style, completely different method, he had to take his stuff that he had worked on and kind of try to bring it back home, and then he had to make the movies.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why there's a different kind of a tint to the movies and a different feel a little bit. It's not just the CGI; it's actually like there was a different visionary that he was working with, like their vision, and he had to kind of execute that. So a little dorky stuff for you there.
Yeah. And beyond that, with the dorkiness, we on our honeymoon went to see the midnight premiere of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
so that was 2012, December 2012. We went to Savannah,
Have
Georgia.
anything else you'd rather be doing on your honeymoon? I'd rather
This
go see
is
The
what the
Hobbit.
future holds.
Oh, and might I remind
In
you,
Georgia.
we
What?
went to go see it in IMAX 3D. Do you remember that part of it?
I did not remember that we saw it in
I remember that
IMAX.
so specifically because like it was a newer IMAX build, so it was like,
That's
but
the
yeah,
best part of the trip that he remembers.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's probably a couple epic things for Caleb in that trip, but okay, we'll talk about this
well,
one.
I'll tell you this: we spent our first 2 days in Clearwater, Florida, at like a resort place,
Okay.
and then we took
Yeah,
a
yeah.
road trip up to Georgia.
Got it.
Yep.
So we did like a couple days in Savannah, a couple days in Atlanta. Oh, we went to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and it was like Christmas time. So they had
yeah,
like
the
all
lights.
these Christmas lights and these carolers, and that was so magical. And then it was
except
freezing cold.
It was so freezing.
And I had bought like months in advance. I got a Groupon deal. This is when Groupon was like fresh on the scene, and I thought it was so cool that I got a Groupon deal for like it was a fireside dinner
yeah.
at a tavern with. It was promoted as a
It
magical
was right by
horse carriage ride.
like an ice skating rink and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is, Floridians don't dress warmly enough for the winter.
In that one night, we went to the botanical garden, then we went to dinner,
Yeah.
and then we went ice skating,
Yeah.
like outdoor ice skating rink, and then had this like magical carriage ride through
Yeah.
the park.
Yeah.
It was this freezing carriage ride, and the only blanket that the guy had was the horse blanket.
Yeah.
So we had this hairy horse blanket
And we
that
were just-
cuddling under.
We were just
We're
like holding each other in the back, like not even looking at what was happening inside. Like
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
supposed to
And
be
then
magical, but we're just so cold.
On the ride home, we had to drive from Atlanta over to Athens, about a 90-minute drive. So we're exiting from Atlanta, like off the freeway, and I get pulled over. Coming off the highway, you're going like 70 miles an hour, and
you
then
gotta
you
be
go off a
careful telling
ramp.
this story. I'm gonna tell it correctly.
Okay. I'll just,
No, I'm just kidding. I'll let you keep going. I'll
anyway,
be nice.
but like we pulled right off the ramp, and then just like get pulled over right away. What's your version of that?
You don't remember my version of this story?
No, sorry.
Caleb was speeding like a demon the
Oh my
whole
gosh.
trip.
Really?
Yes. What? How do you not remember this?
whole trip.
We fought about this for years.
Let's keep the story
Playfully.
short.
He was
Okay.
excited to get where he wanted to be, for
Yeah.
it was a
He-
trip.
I think I was
gosh.
driving him crazy, being like, "Slow down, slow down,
Oh, yeah.
slow down." And this is like the new test of marriage. Okay,
Yeah, I
like
was about to say,
I
he's
don't
like,
remember
you know,
this.
you get married,
So
just
many more years of
immediately go on a
this.
road trip. Like it's just so great. It was so funny. But the whole time I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you were driving so fast! You're driving so fast! Oh my gosh, you're driving so fast!" He was like, I think just annoyed at how much I was
just gonna cut all
nagging
this
and
out later.
trying to hit 100. He was doing that.
But that wasn't on the freeway in Atlanta.
Okay,
that was
but
like
this
on the
one
big
part.
road trip. That was on the big.
But no, but you also were still speeding.
Okay.
You were zipping around. All right. And when this cop pulled us over, he was going 35 over
In
the
a
speed
speed
limit.
trap.
Thir-
jail time.
But you were
for the
still,
listeners. I'm just
you
kidding.
were still like,
Is that really?
yeah, it was
think so.
kind of a speed
Anything
trap
over
because you
30
should have slowed down. But
could be
like,
arrestable.
the guy was like, I'm going to be nice and I'm just going to put it down as you going 25 over instead of 35 over because that's going to
still a
make this.
big ticket.
It was still a
Okay.
gigantic. And I was sitting there just like this. I was like,
Yeah.
Told you.
I've gotten a
That was
few.
the look on my
like,
face.
Maybe like one or two. In
We
the
just went
20s.
straight to bed when we got home that night of the.
Yeah.
No, it was a Georgia State Patrol, which
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
famous.
They are
in our-
ridiculous
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Yes. And I'm
Anyway.
sure I was being annoying and that
But we're
was
just
probably
taking
egging you on.
so much time not talking to Brittany right now.
Sorry.
Just honest. Are there any other ghosties? I know we've mentioned Laura. Are there any other ghosties that you're kind of like in regular contact with?
Maddie Dieterly, she's also gluten-free. And so sometimes I'll text her and be like, I just found this gluten-free something at Walmart or wherever, and it's super good, and you should try it. So we've kind of connected over that.
That's so cool.
Doesn't she have a gluten-free like page or something like that?
Yeah, so she has a gluten-free Ghosties
Nice.
group as well. So I'm part of the main Facebook group, Ghosty Island, gluten-free Ghosties,
Wow.
Holy Ghosties.
Holy,
It's like
I
a
just
prayer
joined
group.
Holy Ghosties. Yeah,
What is that one?
Yeah.
it's a prayer
So
group.
it's just like a prayer
Oh,
group.
okay.
If you have something that you'd like people to pray about, or just a praise that you want to share for your week,
That's cool.
it's just a community of Christian ghosties, because like not all ghosties are Christian. I think the majority are, but not everyone is. And so it's more of a focused group to just talk about faith-centered things and kind of share prayer requests and things like that. So it's really encouraging to be part of that group too. So yeah.
Anyone else besides you said Maddie, and then I asked.
Oh yes.
A bunch of questions.
So
Sorry.
Laura, Maddie, Philip Fitzgerald is the mastermind behind the Ghost Runners Tight Beat.
Yeah.
We appreciate all his hard work. Do you guys have a favorite track or a favorite jingle that's been released?
I love Getaway. I love that one so much. I mean the close second is hold on.
Mouse in the House for me. I mean, that was one of the earlier episodes that I
say.
started listening, and yeah, that was like kind of sealed the deal. I feel like for me, I was like, I love this. Like, yeah,
Mouse in the House, and then the one where I forget the name of it, but it's when Jake goes to the dentist, and it's like a
It's
Western.
just called The Dentist.
It's called The Dentist. And it's like now dosey dove and like I love that. That was one of the first jingles that like caught my attention. That I was like, this is amazing. This is so fun. The fact, and I love that Jake was just like doing it for the first time right there. Like the fact that they don't rehearse these jingles, they just do them. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fun.
What about you? What's some of your favorite ones?
I think my favorite might be Equine one.
Oh yeah,
Simon is just so good in that one.
and that one
Can't
sounds
believe
like
he's voice.
produced, like whatever Timon did to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he recorded it on his own, and did he put it on the Patreon or something like that?
Oh, that explains
Or maybe
it.
in an episode, I can't remember. But,
For the longest time, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I actually just met ghosties in real life for the first time about a week or two ago because I organized a little meetup in Lancaster. And we just got together at a coffee shop. There was just about like 5 or 6 of us and just chatted. We hung out for about maybe 2 hours or so and just talked about the podcast. It was basically just like this, but in real life, just getting to know each other, talking about our favorite podcast moments and stuff. So that was really cool.
Or was it like all people like that are local to Lancaster or like close by or?
Yeah, so most of them are within Pennsylvania. I don't think anyone traveled from out of state. I think most of them were from maybe an hour to 2 hours drive of Lancaster. So I drove an hour and a half to get there.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's definitely some ghosties, like not too far from here, but I think Malachi.
Like Malachi's in Orlando.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't you say like a while back that you got connected with somebody here?
Yeah, I reconnected. I finally found who it was. So somebody had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, you're local. Like we should go to Chick-fil-A sometime for lunch. I'm new to the area." And we set it up, and then I had to back out. And then we set it up again, and then he had to back out or something like that. And then it was like, oh well, it's almost Christmas, so let's catch up in January. And then neither of us ever reached out to each other. And so it was almost a year that had gone by, and I couldn't find the message on Facebook. I was like scrolling, and I could just never recognize the name. And then one day, I think like a month ago, I finally found it again. And I reached out. I was like, dude, I know this is so far from when we talked about it, but let's do it. Let's get together. And he's like, oh, actually, I moved again. And now, so he lives in a different state now.
Oh, wow.
No.
Man, you missed the window.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
But maybe I should
didn't-
try to get him on the
He
podcast.
didn't
Yeah,
like
give it
make
time.
the connection because you weren't available, and then he decided I'm done with Tampa.
I know. If we would have hung out,
Just have
maybe
a
he'd
Zoom
still be
lunch
here.
date.
Yeah, we can just order, like, we could Uber eat some Chick-fil-A to the pod one night.
And Craigslist like missed connections. I'm just kidding. That's like not a reference that Brittany will get. A Craigslist reference.
Yeah, have you ever been on Craigslist, Brittany?
I haven't been on it in the last
Oof.
5 to
No.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, Marketplace is, like, when you mentioned wanting to have a Facebook just for Marketplace,
me.
we were just talking about that recently. It's like, sometimes you just wish there was a separate app.
Yeah.
I think you just said that. Yeah.
I did say that because
Yeah.
I want to get rid of Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I truly only look at the Facebook group periodically or look at Marketplace. I don't. I stopped being on Instagram. Forcing myself to be kind of bricked.
Oh my gosh, we have to debrief pods after this too.
know.
So after we hang up with you,
Oh, no.
we have to do our debrief episode.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you know
with
what's
you.
nice
Oh no.
is it'll be short. Like this will force us to do a short, which we always say that, but
Yeah.
we usually end up recording for like 2 hours sometimes, and then I cut it down to like 1 to 90, like an hour to 90 minutes.
He does that during his 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
Take little breaks here
take
and
that
there.
with a yeah
Now, what is your 9 to 5? I know you work at a hotel, but what's your role there?
janitor.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a dual. I have a dual role where I'm the assistant general manager or assistant to the general manager.
There you go.
Director of sales. So operationally, like I kind of get distracted a lot because there's like things that pop up at the hotel, like housekeeping stuff, maintenance stuff, front desk problems that I have to kind of like attend to. But my main job is like drumming up business for the hotel. So getting in contact with local businesses that have employees that traveling to and from, or training things that people need a place to stay while they're in town training, or like little leagues, junior traveling sports. Yeah,
Events.
just events and stuff like that. So just trying to drum up business for the hotel. So that's my life.
He basically does everything all the time.
Yeah.
He's the go-to guy.
I've been here the longest. I've been here like 13 years, 13 and a half years.
Wow.
So and I've worked in all the departments except for housekeeping. I never worked housekeeping, but I started out front desk, part-time maintenance, and then just kind of grew from there. So I've had my hands in everything, and like I know how to do everything. So yeah, it's kind of the easy call to just call Caleb. This past Sunday, I haven't had to work. So I've been doing sales for about 2 years now. Before that, the first like 11 years, I was working in some form of way at the front desk, whether just a front desk guy or the front desk manager, or when I was just the AGM, I was also the front desk manager. So it was always like I was at the desk, and now I'm like in an office in the back, which is nice. So it's a whole new world. Now it's a 9 to 5. For like 11 years, it was
Crazy. All over
working
the place.
random overnight shifts, like a mix of 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., sometimes back to backs. Like it was all having kids. It wasn't like a healthy way to have the hours. Like the kids never knew when to. I didn't have a set schedule. Every week it was different. So now having like a regular 9 to 5 or whatever, it's given place for there to be consistency and stability. Anyway, yeah, there are sometimes it was really cool to have a very flexible job like that, but I definitely like this version of it better.
Good. Yeah, one of my sisters used to do front desk for a hotel, and she would do the 3 to 11 shift for a couple of years. But now she's a 9 to 5 insurance agent. So
Wow, what hotel does she work for?
Staybridge Suites.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's in the IHG family.
Yeah.
Does she sell insurance now, or she works for like an insurance company?
I believe she sells. Honestly, I'm confused a little bit about what she does. I think she's licensed.
Okay, like health insurance or homeowners?
Like life. She's
life
used
insurance.
to be with
Okay.
Nationwide, but now it's like an independent agency.
Okay, very cool.
Nice.
I only ask because I'm not an insurance agent, but I work for a health insurance company, have a team of like, project managers that implement things. I don't go down the rabbit hole too deep to explain too much. But
Man, I think I really wanted to ask you about the ghosty meetup like earlier on in the episode. I just didn't make any notes this time, but that was like when I saw that post and I commented something on it, and then you commented that like you guys talked about Ghosties on Second a little bit, and that was like my open door where I was like, oh, let me invite, because you were on my list. You're on my top 5 list of people to get on the pod, and when you said that you like talked about Ghosties on Second, I was like, oh, well, that's so cool. Maybe she'd actually want to be on. So that was really cool that happened.
here you are.
Yeah, it's a God moment, right?
Yeah. And again, I know we've talked for so long, but I want to hear just a little bit about your upbringing. Like, when did you, like, did you just grow up Christian? Like, when did you have your moment that, like, your faith became real to you? How does your faith, like, what's your faith journey a little bit?
So I grew up in a Christian home. My parents are saved Christians as well. So we've always been going to church growing up, very faith-centered home. I grew up hearing about the gospel and Jesus, but then if you grow up around it, you kind of get used to it and you don't really personalize it right away. You can kind of just generalize it and like, well, it doesn't really apply to me. It applies to everyone else, but not me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as bad as them. I'm a good kid. I don't do that stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't until, let me think here, it was 2012. So I was 11.
Okay.
And I really actually saw that I'm not a good person. I have sinned. I have offended God. I put Jesus on the cross with my actions. And it just like sunk in and really hit me. And then I knew what I had to do because I had, basically memorized it from growing up. You know what you're supposed to do, repent from your sin and turn to Christ. And so that's what I did September 2012. And it's been totally different ever since. Now, I know Jesus and I know God is my Father and I have a relationship with them and I read my Bible and it's real to me, and like verses that I've known growing up because you memorize them, you hear stories about them and sermons that they actually mean something to me now in my life. Different situations that I go through, they take on new meaning. So, yeah.
I love I heard it said one time, like, blessed are the poor in spirit. Like, that means, like, blessed are they who have realized their need for God. And it's just like, yeah, until it's real to you that, like, you need to be saved from your sin. Like, you need the connection to the Creator. Like, that it's just not really that authentic or genuine until you have that realization that, like, I need Jesus. Like, that come to Jesus moment. That's really cool to hear your perspective.
Yeah, thanks for asking about it.
Yeah. And do you have any, like, did you go to, like, youth group growing up and stuff?
Yeah, our church has a good youth group. Our youth pastor actually just moved away. He's been here for like years and years, and they just moved to Washington State across the country.
Okay.
Wow.
So a little bit sad, but we had a great youth group growing up, and we would have like Sunday school classes with him, talking about the same lessons that the adults were talking about, but just in a more personalized way for teenagers, and doing get-togethers and events throughout the school year, throughout the summer. We would do summer camp, winter camp, really focused time of preaching and hearing from God.
I was going to ask about summer camp. So you did summer and winter. What was that like?
Yeah, so for summer camp, we go to, so our church puts it on. It's not through an organization. We just do it from our church, and we drive out to a place in Ohio, and it's just back roads. There's a lake, there's cabins, there's mice and spiders and no AC.
The wilderness.
And the mattress is, not a mattress.
Hey.
But it's all part of camp.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go out there for a week, and it's a long bus ride, but it's worth it.
That's awesome.
Great.
We did, our camps were like in Arkansas that we'd go to. So there was two different ones. There's one like in the mountains, near like Jasper, Arkansas, like right in the heart of the Ozarks. And then the other one was completely different ministry, but that's what we went to.
Yeah.
And it was like near the same area, like outside of Little Rock, but it was just going to like the Ozark Mountains and going on hikes and stuff like that. And yeah, Shelby, you look at your phone because you're getting a text about the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, what did she say?
She's crying for mommy.
Aw. Okay, sorry. We can wrap this up or whatever. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I think we covered all the bases.
We totally did. I know, but you've been great. You had so much to say, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Great
Great
I'm glad
talking to
it
you.
went well.
All right, wow. Thank you so much for joining us, Brittany. Well, Ghosties, this has been Hangin' with Santo Mac. Until next time, much love. All right, before we get going, I just want to know, Brittany, how much of this podcast have you actually listened to?
Every single episode.
What?
No way. Guess that is
like
a
high
many
fives all
more
around.
than I have listened to, actually. So
Because you're living the pod.
I know,
You're
but
living
even
it.
the ones that I haven't been on, I have not listened to them.
Thank you so
My
much.
wife
That
has
means a
listened
lot.
to them all.
Yeah, thank
so
you. Aw, and thank you to Kadra too.